We must be strategic in how we are implementing the mass deportation so as not to compromise our food supply. Ultimately, the answer on this is automation. And then also, when you think about, there are 34 million able-bodied adults in our Medicaid program. There are plenty of workers in America.
By far the most irritating part about being a farmer is people offering to volunteer their labor. And it's not because we don't think people are well-intentioned or whatever. It's because people truly do not understand or appreciate, number one, exactly how hard this work is and how much skill it requires. I mean, about once a month, some wannabe farmer will show up, will just come to the shop unannounced, like in the middle of the week. They want to chit-chat about their dreams and whatnot in exchange for their free and usually completely unskilled labor. I can't even find the words to express how much of a pain in the butt it is, how much of a drain on my energy and sanity it is to watch somebody who has no idea what they're doing on the farm try to do even the simplest things. Like picking up one of these 100-pound feed sacks. Like, y'all will pick it up wrong, you're gonna injure your back, or you're not gonna be looking at what you're doing because it's the heaviest damn thing you've ever tried to pick up, like in the last 3 years. You're gonna catch it on a nail or a hook or something. You're gonna split the bag open. You're gonna spill $50 worth of feed on the ground, and oops, and now I've got a friggin' 15-minute cleanup project instead of I could have been done twice. You're gonna drive the truck into a ditch. You're gonna be so afraid of stepping on a chicken or hurting something, you're gonna treat it like it's made out of tissue paper and barely wanna touch it. You're gonna do everything super slow. The animal's just gonna have their way with you. Everything that would take an hour is gonna take 5 hours. It is the worst. But the important thing, for the purposes of our discussion, is the part where I said volunteers are almost invariably going to get injured or sick. That part's important. It's important when we consider our predator president and his cross-eyed, harpy gargoyle agriculture secretary talking about using American Medicaid recipients as a solution to mass deportations and replacing the agricultural labor force. Let me help break it down for all the broke asses who were always the ones saying that the country should be run like a business. You want to run it like a business? Fine. Let me give you a little bit of inconvenient information. Undocumented people are your most profitable business unit. They pay all the taxes the rest of us do, but they get none of the benefits, which means they generate lots of revenue but cost almost nothing. They don't get Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, WIC, none of it. They also commit far less crime than everybody else, so they're spending less time sucking up resources in, say, jail or the court system. So as someone who, unlike the Secretary of Agriculture, actually A, runs a farm and B, runs one that makes a profit, it confuses me that you're going to jettison the highly profitable undocumented person business unit in favor of the Medicare person business unit when it comes to farm labor. Because, come closer, hear me out, you're going to have a bunch of people who are so poor they probably barely pay any taxes to begin with, and then you're going to put them into a farm environment where they are going to get sick, they are going to get injured, and they're going to wind up having to actually use their Medicaid benefits, which are going to cost money, okay? So you're going to replace the undocumented people who make lots of money and cost you almost no money with a bunch of people who are going to be contributing almost no revenue because they don't make enough to pay taxes, and they're going to be costing a fortune on Medicaid because you've stuck them into what is basically a forced labor camp where they're going to get hurt and have to go to the hospital. Replacing undocumented labor with Medicaid recipients would be about as smart as Amazon getting rid of its cloud services division to focus on physical textbooks again. Which is to say that the CEO that did such a thing would not only be fired, but they probably be shot into the sun. This is how you know the country isn't being run by some self-made billionaire business genius, but rather by some American Bonnie Prince Charlie who is too dumb to even keep a casino from bankrupting.